the terrifying emergency landing by a jumbo jet this afternoon. Passengers say they felt the whole plane tremble and shake, the cabin filled with smoke, as the pilot radioed in that the engine had been knocked out because of a collision with birds. It happened near the Hudson River in New York City, and ABC senior national correspondent Jim Avila is there with dramatic details.
This is the damage done. The engine that shut down on takeoff after taking a large bird into the teeth of the turbine. This picture obtained exclusively by WABC, and this video from a passenger as the plane limped back to JFK.
And Delta 1063 has had an engine failure on the right engine, declaring an emergency due to a bird strike. Departure Delta 1063, we have declared an emergency engine failure on the right engine. Request a visual return back to 13 right. New request, we'd like to do a visual to 22, please.
Delta 1063, you're just going to go in visually?
Yes, ma'am. Delta 1063, that would be great.
That is the unbelievably calm, clear voice of the Delta captain in the middle of an emergency as he turns the plane around from JFK's runway 13 right on one engine and loops back to runway 22 right. There were 172 passengers, 7 crew members on board when the big 757 jet had to turn around. It was en route to Los Angeles. Here's one of the passengers.
Got off of Flight 1063, Delta Flight 1063, dude, that was the scariest thing I have ever done.
A flock of black birds hit the right engine, sounded like a Volkswagen Beetle being grinded through the engine. The flight then got disrupted in the air. I thought we were going to go down. And the next thing that happened was a smell came through the cabin.
Bird strikes happen all too often, more than 2,500 times at JFK alone since 1990, causing $600 million in damage worldwide and killing 219 people since 1988. Today's bird strike happening at the absolute worst time.
At takeoff, it's really the most risky part of the whole flight because you're heavy. The airplane is just trying to get away from the ground, and if you all of a sudden lose one engine, you now have lost half the thrust, half the ability of the aircraft to get into the air.
This pilot able to return safely to the airport, but of course today's incident is a chilling reminder of what happened when Captain Sullenberger had to fly his U.S. Airjet into the Hudson River. Today, another example of a pilot with cool, calm skill. Of course, this pilot had a couple of things going for him. First of all, he was close enough to return right to JFK, didn't have to come and land in a river like Sully did. The other thing that happened was, as you notice in that picture at the beginning of the piece, with the cone, the engine cone, the damage was confined to the inside, and none of those turbines, none of the fan broke through the engine itself and hit any of the hydraulics in the plane or in the wing. That was good news too. So a couple of things going for them today, making for a very close, but at least a safe call.